One of my captors felt no emotion. He did not hesitate to inflict pain. Now, all he feels is intense, unstoppable agony.
Don't worry, little beast. We are friends now. The first one looked upon this capture with pride, Exile. You hunt well.
I still feel the cold creep of death when I close my eyes.
I need
Don't
more
worry.
mana.
You'll...
Pathetic.
I could offer you peace.
Don't make us regret this, Mute.
Don't make me hunt you down. Only fair.
You have been captured, beast.
A species.
I'm glad we could come to an understanding.
There are no more worthy beasts nearby. So, Einar will go feed the ones we...
Funny what you learn to do while you're dead. I had you! I'm not a deal's a deal.
I like you better this way.
This is the key to a crucible that stretches the sanity of the mind.
Hail!
Got a ship back in with Karui goods.
The runners have brought back some interesting things.
Could really use more items to disenchant. Things
At the moment,
are looking
we're
idle. Let's make some dust.
I see you, little mouse. You don't belong here. Run along. Turn back, trespasser. Cease this madness.
Tonight, I will feast!
You tamper with things you do not understand.
Dead.
Your recklessness will not go unpunished. This is your final warning. Leave. You force my hand again, little mouse. So be it. You've chosen to side with chaos. This is my world, and you shall obey my order.
I've never seen anything like that grip of the infinites.
Insignificant.
He's trying to recover. Hurry! Let's find a way back.
Resist the
Behold
assault!
the face of your unmaking!
Father, it's me. Let me help you.
Time
The
bends
horror
to
must be
my
stopped.
will.
Obstacles destroyed!
Grip of the infinite.
Ultimate chaos!
To me, Exile.
Grasp your mortality tightly. Tight tethers!
Buy me some time.
Grasp your mortality tightly. Struggle or strangle.
Insubstantial!
Grasp your mortality tightly.
He's recovering. We need to find a way back quickly.
These memories are mine. I cannot lose them.
They
Grip
lie
of
to
the
you, Father.
infinite.
I'm your true memory.
To save the future, the past must be.
Temporal tears.
To me, Exile.
Struggle or strangle. Resist the assault.
Irrelevant!
Stuff, and then other games that are from IPs that people like, that people are expecting new games from, where the fuck are they? You know, when was the last time we got a Splinter Cell game? Like, when? Rainbow Six is basically being carried by the fact that they have Siege that's running. The Division were games that did well, and then as it's pointed out here, the Division Heartland, which was very much expected game from the gamers, was cancelled. Yeah, Skull and Bones release was not a success. Prince of Persia Lost Crown was okay, but not very impressive, as nobody talks about the game anymore. Yeah. Rainbow Six is doing great. Yep. You've got live service there that's doing fantastic, but obviously they want more. They always do. Nevertheless, franchises such as Rayman, Splinter Cell, For Honor, Watch Dogs are sleeping for years, despite these games are loved by millions of players all around the world. Latest release of Star Wars Outlaws is expected to bring good numbers, but recent reviews shows that the game was not 100% ready to release, despite the fact that the whole world was waiting for open world game under the Star Wars franchise. The Metacritic rating was 76% and IGN has 7 out of 10 rating, which is quite good rating in our view. You've got low expectations, guys. A 7 out of 10, a 76. Yeah, objectively not bad numbers, but when almost every AAA game that releases is a 7 out of 10 from IGN and is a 70 to 80% from the majority of people that play it, which basically just means this game wasn't offensive. This game didn't harm me while I was playing it. It was like, okay, you know, I enjoyed my time with it, but that's not enough anymore, I don't think. It's enough if the game doesn't cost a whole bunch of money, or if you're banking on the game being like incredibly successful and making back what it cost if it did cost a lot of money. But nowadays, a 76 is not getting anyone's dick hard. Like, almost everybody's just saying, yeah, 76, I'll wait. You know, I'll wait 3 months, 6 months, a year. I've got so many games in the backlog, I might not even play it, because by the time I do get around to it, there'll probably be 4 Game of the Year contender games released that I've not even had time to play. Like, this is how the industry is now. The competition is crazy. For all the people that say the gaming industry is worse now, or it's going to the dogs, or you know, the game industry's dying, or whatever, as if they're doom and gloom. It's never been better. Like, we have better indie games and AA games releasing than ever before that put previous year AAA games to shame. And then some of the games that we see from AAA studios, games like Elden Ring and things like that, games from other countries that we traditionally wouldn't have ever seen before, Black Myth Wukong coming from China, a region that has never released a AAA quality single player game. Korean studios with Stellar Blade and things like that releasing games that they've never made before. Markets that are opening up and making games that are of a fantastic quality. It's never been better. And that is why you can't release 7 out of 10s anymore and just expect that your company is just going to continue to do well. So we can go through and I'll just take you to... They make some accusations here that Tencent and these brothers, the Gilmore family, are specifically trying to shake out minority shareholders by having the stock price go down and then rebuying massive shares in the company so that they can increase their holdings basically for less money. That's essentially the accusation as far as I understand within here, because they're like, oh, Tencent invested $300 million in your other company, taking a 49.9% stake, and then you sold shares to them at 80 euros each, increasing Tencent's direct stake in Ubisoft to 9.99%, and then you went and bought a bunch of shares, bought 4 million shares at 19 euros each in 2023. And then they show what they're claiming is evidence of this happening. They also say that that's why these brothers, this family, and Tencent are blocking takeovers and blocking private equity that want to buy the company. Which, interesting if true, but not my area of expertise and not something I'm going to make any kind of comment on. So this is their proposal. This is what they want. Take the company private for fair price. We urge the board to consider taking Ubisoft private with Tencent as a significant partner and shareholder. So basically, buy everyone's shares for an agreed upon amount of money. Basically what Elon Musk did with Twitter. We agree that we'll buy all the shares at this amount. Shares all get bought. People get all that money. It would have to be significantly higher than the current price, because that's why they're putting 40 to 45 euros. That's what they're valuing the company at. And the company's currently at like 13 euros. So you'd be making a shitload of money if that was the case. But that's what they want. They want these companies to buy out everybody and take the company private for their own financial benefit. And also because obviously public life is not working for Ubisoft. You can clearly see that it's on a 4-year fucking downtrend. This shit looks like a cryptocurrency, guys. Like, legit. If you bought at the peak, you're down fucking 90%. This is a shit coin. Ubisoft is a meme coin. You're buying fucking pictures of dogs, essentially, when you're buying into this company at this stage. In fact, some meme coins have fucking held up during a cryptocurrency crash better than Ubisoft has, which is crazy. What an indictment for your company. Especially funny as well, by the way, that this CEO repeatedly tried to cram NFTs in and kept saying, oh, gamers don't understand, we're actually doing this for you, it's better for you, it's going to be better for you. Yeah, of course it was. So basically they're saying we want you to go private because then we think that your quarterly results driven approach is harming the company, and then you'll be able to basically get new air into the company, and you'll be able to focus on the existing franchises and things like that. This would allow the company to address its issues away from the public market pressures and make necessary changes without harming minority shareholders, retail investors and pension funds that are victims of these efficiency problems and mismanagement by current leadership. If they're not interested, we urge the current management not to block any takeovers, as there are several private equity groups that would be interested based on our research. In the event of an offer from a PE group or strategic investor, we urge them to accept this bid when this bid will be for a fair price. If this offer won't be accepted, we will sue for a reimbursement of damages. Lawsuits within this. Multiple times, by the way. And using the French minority laws essentially to try and protect what they're saying. French and EU law provides comprehensive legal framework for the protection of minority shareholders and the resolution of situation of abuse of dominant position by controlling shareholders. As a minority shareholder, together with others, we'll use all legal possibilities to achieve our goal. Then there are other proposals that basically fucking lay off loads of your staff and sell loads of your studios. You've already cut 10% of workforce. That's simply not enough. You need to cut more costs. You've said you're going to cut 150 million euros of cost by 2024 and 200 million by 2025. That's not aggressive enough. Fire more people, sell more IPs, sell more studios, get rid of people that aren't working on what we think are core games. This is what they're saying. And core games, in their words, are Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, Tom Clancy titles, such as Sprintle Cell should be prioritized and cherished. I agree. And then hire a new CEO, basically. And then basically the brothers will advise the new CEO, essentially. So that's what's happening over in Ubisoft land. It's going fucking crazy. Now, do I think this is gonna happen? Probably not. But we've seen stranger things happen. And it is funny, again, that this I think it's a Slovakian, I don't know why I said that weird. I think this is a Slovakian investment firm. They've come in and they're like, right, boys, we're in 1 week. Our feet are on the table. Get them out. Get them the fuck out. We're taking over. Like, this is our company now. Look at me. Look at I'm the CEO now. Like, they've basically done that. They've taken over the ship, or at least they're trying to, which is hilarious. But what they're saying ain't wrong. If you were looking at this from like a gamer perspective, what is Ubisoft doing that's exciting? Every time that they release a new game, it just has problems. Optimization problems, the game's rushed, nobody cares about the IP of the game, it's not spectacularly stand out enough for anybody to really give a fuck. This is another one, right? This was a Ubisoft game. Immortals Phoenix Rising, another 7 out of 10. Another game that just came out. It was basically like a phantom wank. Like, you thought you ejaculated and then you checked and you just like, there's fucking nothing there. Like, what's just happened? Another game that is probably not a terrible game, but you've put probably tens of millions of dollars into this, and what's it done? Like, nobody cares about this. Ubisoft, if you go through and look at their release history since like 2020, most of the games are like this. Most of them, and they're still doing it. I guess it's one thing to say like, oh, they're not aggressive enough at making changes in some of their older IPs and things, but then, you know, they are trying to be different and release new games and things. But there's a middle ground here of, you've got to do something new. You've got to do something like, this was not a new game. People at the time were calling it a Breath of the Wild clone, basically. I don't know how true that is. I didn't play the game. I'm just going off what people were saying, and perception is a big thing in a public market. I think if they're going to release the same game over and over again, at least go back and release the games people cared about and liked. Bring out more Splinter Cell games, bring out more Tom Clancy games, bring out, you know, better and better Assassin's Creed games, because obviously you're just not very good at releasing new stuff, because I mean, when was the last time a new IP from Ubisoft came out and went gangbuster numbers? Somebody let me know in the comments. For Honor, I guess. For Honor kind of did well, right? I mean, it was very popular 6 years ago. Like, it's been... Was that a free weekend? Wow. No, For Honor was not as popular as I thought it was or remembered it was. I mean, probably not bad. I can't imagine this took like crazy amounts of money and it's lasted for a real long time. But when was the last... Let me know in the comments, because I honestly can't remember. But either way, I think we can leave it there. Ubisoft in big trouble. Deep shit, as we like to say. Because obviously this is not going away. It's not exactly like this chart's going to get any better, right? They were doing fucking great. They've had some rough times before and he's got them through it to new heights. But I don't know, man. You can't be doing this anymore. It's just not possible. I think the games industry is going to find out very quickly that what I'm saying is true. There is no space for mediocrity anymore. If you're an indie game, you can probably get away with it if you didn't spend a whole bunch of money and you're doing something that has like a very niche audience, and maybe the review score gets dragged down by it being a polarizing game, some people loving it, some people hating it, a real Marmite experience. But if you're aiming for like a mainstream audience and you're releasing 7s out of 10s and 7.5s out of 10s, get ready, because your games are going to be losing a fucking lot of money and you're going to be going out of business. Maybe not the huge companies like this, because sometimes they are too big to fail, but Ubisoft's getting way closer than we've seen in a long time for a company of this size. So there we go. Thanks for watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want to support me, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know. Join my socials, links in video description. If you join the Discord, by the way, it's basically you have to be manually verified to join, so just put in the verified channel and then the mod will get around to it eventually, usually within an hour or so. It is monitored, it's just the fact that we have manual verification on for reasons at the moment. And also, if you want to buy gamer subs, definitely recommend. Lovely powder. You put it in water, you drink it. Great product. You can use my link for a 10% discount. They're running promos right now, I think, where you get free delivery, and I think you can even get free samples if you use my code. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Suggest me content on my social media stuff you want to see me talk about, investigate, look into, whatever it's going to be, and I will hopefully see you next time. Peace.
Progression is being worked on, rocket devastator nerf, and more. All in today's video, guys, so grab a beverage, a hot cup of liberty, and let's dive right into the video. To start things off, Helldivers, we are looking at something positive. Apparently, Arrowhead had help from developers in other studios, which I think's absolutely amazing, coming together and helping one another. Not sure if it's directed at this patch or not. Shams Georgiani, one of the nicest things about the game industry is that everyone is so darn helpful. People don't hesitate to connect to you, open doors, offer help and advice. It was true when I was starting out, and it's still true today, and I try to pass it on myself. Now, if this was for the recent patch, it may be a good thing, because this means we could see a shift, which for Liberty, I cannot wait. Moving on, Twinbeard addressed to a member that there is going to be more buffs than nerfs in this update, and thank God for that. I don't want another heart attack. I hear you. Will there be more nerfs? Of course there will. Anytime you balance a ton of things, others will need looking over as well. That being said, this patch will see a lot more buffing in general. It will focus on making guns and equipment feeling more viable, making you vulnerable if you mess up, while letting you do more damage and be more effective when you have the right tools for the job. Better dynamics, and we hope more fun. So to me, I'm happy to hear there's buffs if anything, and it makes sense for balancing. Oh boy, if there's too many nerfs, Steam review bombing will be back and democracy would have failed. Now on to the big news of today, and holy cow, we have wanted this. so we don't get thrown about 24/7. As you know, Arrowhead have been releasing daily news on what's to come in their new patch on the 17th. And me, for one, I'm going to be diving for Managed Democracy. And the question is, are you? Are you diving on the 17th of September? So what's new with today's announcement? The Rocket Devastator is getting nerfed. So this is what the post says. A buff a day keeps the bugs away. Buff? No. Rocket Devastator changes. Rocket Devastators now have a limited number of rockets, and you can see them disappear when they are spent. A reload mechanic is added from their backpack to replenish the rockets. In addition, the rocket physics collision is now smaller, making them easier to avoid. This is another huge change by Arrowhead, because players have said this for a long time, that they wanted this updated, and it's here, it's coming. Managed Democracy 2024 is here, guys, it's literally here. The Rocket Devastators could legit spam you, destroy you 24/7, and you just could not do anything about it, so this is great to hear. Are you excited for this change? Comment and let me know. You know what to do for Managed Democracy. You know, so Managed Democracy can prevail on YouTube. Once this update is live on September 17th, we can see some of these changes happen straight away. They can now reload, obviously. Now let's take a look at the video they released, because it was really interesting.
My name is Johan Pilestad.
And I'm Niklas Manborg.
Today we're diving into the patch notes of Helldivers 2.
So the Rocket Devastators, they have limited ammo. When they fire a rocket, you'll see one go away. I think they can only fire like 3 bursts or something, and then they need to reload because they have an extra pack. They can reload once. We should also mention, the collision of the rockets is smaller.
Okay, so...
We reduced it by 80%.
Okay. Do gunships as well run out of ammo now?
Yes.
So basically, I'm hiding behind a rock, they blow their load all over me, and then I can move out of cover.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a walk of shame, but I think that's nice.
Guys, this looks so sick. The reload mechanic is really impressive. Honestly, I can't wait to spread more democracy while drinking on Liberty, which is actually coffee today. Yeah, it's actually coffee, not Liberty. I think the devs are really honing in on what players want, and after the issues with the major nerf update, you know, escalation of freedom, with players just straight up trying to cancel Helldivers 2, I think this is a good thing. But please, can we get more difficulties if the game is going to become easier? Helldivers 1 apparently had like 14 or 15 difficulties, and that's mad. Balance wise, this update will be better than the previous. However, content wise, I don't think anything new is coming in that regard other than the war bond. And someone made a good point on my previous video that they don't know how they feel locking stratagems behind war bonds. To me, I don't know how I feel either. Then again, it gives us something to work towards. How do you feel about this? Stratagems being locked behind war bonds? Let me know for Managed Democracy, because I love that, you love that, and you know who else loves it? Pilstead. Yeah, Pilstead loves Managed Democracy.
They blow their load all over me.
Now moving on to the latest armor passive that will be available in the Chemical Agents War Bond, because at the time there was no exact word on the percentage of gas resistance, but someone knows that Arrowhead apparently written that the resistance was 100%, which is absolutely wild. Literally wild. You would be practically immune to the gas, so yeah, that would be mad. The same player asked if the resistance is still 100%, given that it was changed sometime afterwards. Community manager Baskinator wrote, yeah, there was placeholder text in there, it's actually 80% resistance. Now I'm happy with that, 80%. I don't want things to be too wild, but yeah, good in my book. You just know though, there's going to be some mother trucker out there who's going to be kitted out with all of this, and you're going to be in the line of fire, and you know what happens next. More team killing. Yeah, more team killing. Now on a related point, the same community manager responded to a member who mentioned about the devs taking a risk with the next war bond in regards to replacing primaries with stratagems. Baskinator responded saying this, yeah, this was a risk. We're not adding stratagems that are totally unique either. These are gas variations, and of course super credits can still be earned in game. We hope people are into it, but I know from experience some people won't be. I mean, I don't mind it. You know, I don't mind. It gives me something to work towards, you know, progression wise, but I know there's going to be a lot of people who will literally cry, and that's just because you can't please everyone. And the internet is like that. pretty much most of the time. There's been many comments saying it's just stupid and lame to lock stratagems, and on my videos I know some of you have said the same thing, so it's having mixed thoughts for sure. Now, as we know, we have not had any decent stratagems for some time. The anti-tank mines were just okay, you know, just okay. But Pilstead did say apparently they would one-shot charges. Wait for the rest of the patch notes. We didn't get around to them only triggering from heavy enemies, but yeah, they one-shot charges now. That is going to be mad, and I probably will start using mines again, because mines I haven't used in ages. We did have a chance to get the Napalm Barrage stratagem, but we failed, because plain and simple, we are all just trash at this game. Nah, I'm a pro. I'm definitely a pro. All joking aside, in general though, this patch should draw a lot of players back, and I just hope, man, the devs have heard us and the next patch is so much better. Lastly, we have some news on what the focus is going to be moving forward. After the 17th, I've said this many times, I just want more progression and things to do, and now we may just be getting what we want. So this is going to be major, guys, literally major if progression is the next focus when their next updates release. A player said, "Hey Shams, I love the love for weapons and stratagems, but I would really love to see better progression or changes to the booster. The Hell Pod optimization is a crutch booster and should just be standard when dropping so other boosters can replace it." So would I. It's an upcoming focus. So yes, the game's just going to get better from here, guys. I cannot wait for this. As I'll say a million times, Managed Democracy 2024 is returning, finally. Is that a bit overkill? Nah, nothing's overkill when democracy is involved. Thank you for everyone who watched this far. You guys are all awesome. I just want to say one thing. I'm so grateful, okay? I'm so grateful for everyone on screen. You guys have been so dedicated, and I'm just really thankful. Now on to the community comments. Yes, as me being a democracy man, or as some of you say liberty man, democracy has to prevail on YouTube somehow, okay? If it's not gonna be no one else, it's gonna be me, okay? It's gonna be me. Jack says, "I cannot wait for this update." Yes, I cannot wait either, bro, because Managed Democracy is literally coming back. Crispy Shing says, "Arrowhead stated numerous times that it's about making the weapons feel fun to use, not so much effectiveness. The difficulty could be adjusted if need be. I'm excited to have a weapon loadout variety." Glad to see a fellow Helldive that isn't a whiny little bitch. Is that what you was about to say? Yeah, that's what you was about to say. You're awesome, bro. Keep up the great content. Nathan, I'm ready for the pull my finger emotes. Man, that would be really funny. Could you imagine that? And then just like, just poof. Stinky Nug says, "I'm a breaker man myself." Ha 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 ha. I haven't used a breaker in a while, man. I have not used a breaker in a while. I've only used really the sickle pretty much, I think, for the past 3 months. Literally, I've only used a sickle. Pixie Alt says, "We got more mustard gas. Let the war crimes rise." Yes, a lot of Helldivers are unfortunately going to die to the gas. So yeah. Yeah. Light says, "The community are so damn confusing if you ask me. They wanted weapon buff, Arrowhead gives it, and then they say it's too easy now. What do you guys even want at this point?" You know what I want? You know what I really, really want? More liberty. Because I'm out of liberty. Thank you to everyone who made it up until this point. You guys are legends. Until next time, go and conquer the galaxy with Managed Democracy, and I will see you in the next video, so democracy can straight up prevail on YouTube.
Yes, that's it. Death sweeps in. Sin surrounds you. Be no more. Burn away sin. What are you? In this, the realm of the past, I am king, and you will bow. This one is my own creation.
Witness anything like this. Grip of the infinite.
Darkness surrounds us. face your destruction. Sin surrounds.
I've never seen anything like
You are
this.
full of the void.
Defeat it for me.
Yes, that's it. Death sweeps in. Cleansing flames. Cleansing flames. Cleansing flames. No! Impossible! How? This isn't over. This will never be over. I will unify humanity.
I need more pockets.
Joker 2 is on its way. Obviously, we've kind of speculated about whether this movie is possibly going to make the whole musical concept work, and you know, how well it's going to fit in with the previous one. And you know, it's still a couple of weeks off, but they've already done some advanced reviews of it, and they haven't been great. And I just wanted to read you a little bit about what we've got so far. This one is from the bastion of great journalism and unbiased takes, IGN. But I did think it was an interesting take they had here. Joker 2 charges out of the gate with a novel approach to DC's most famous villain, but it soon settles into rote rhythms. Though advertised as a dreamy jukebox musical, the sequel to The Joker is actually more of a courtroom drama, and not a very interesting one at that. The film works best when pushing towards new ways of seeing its central character, often through the eyes of a wonderfully realized Harley Quinn played by Lady Gaga. But it too often insists on returning to familiar territory and occasion familiar footage instead of blazing a new path, which doesn't sound great. And then, yeah, looking at some of the reviews that we see on Rotten Tomatoes, we got one from Hannah Strong. Says, it begs the question, why is Phillips so reluctant to embrace the film as a musical? Why not add a little more color, some flourish to the production design?
Seems like the original commit to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around where this movie sits. It says from Tim Grierson, where the original Joker remains a stunning exception, that rare blockbuster with emotional shading, grown-up themes, and a genuine sense of grandeur, the sequel fails to stay on the beat. And lastly, Shane McKevitt says, Joker 2 certainly sings a different tune than its predecessor, but it isn't an encore worth sticking around for. Doesn't sound amazing. I'm not going to lie.
Did IGN give it a 7 or?
Wait. I have to check actually.
It's always a 7.
It's always a 7. Yeah, like the worst possible score they can give it. Oh no, 5. Mediocre.
Wow.
Despite the best efforts of Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, and an opening hour set in Arkham Asylum, Joker wastes its potential as a musical, a courtroom drama, and a sequel that has anything meaningful to say about or add to the first Joker. I mean,
I was surprised he didn't say too much Joker.
Yeah,
People
too much
seem to complain
toxic
not enough.
masculinity.
Yeah.
This could be something to worry about in terms of the film's quality, but you have to bear in mind how much the first Joker was ran into the ground by a lot of these types of reviewers before everyone went to see it. So,
sure, but I think they did it for different reasons. I think a lot of their criticisms not like this fosters dangerous ideas and blah blah blah, white man victim and all that sort of thing. Whereas
Well,
this
they
seems to
also-
focus in much more on the actual mechanics of the movie, which is slightly worrying.
I mean, back then, I remember reading all kinds of reviews that would go into what is wrong with it. Like, it's a Taxi Driver clone. It wants to be a real movie, but it's not. It's got, like, it's very melodramatic. Joaquin Phoenix's over-the-top portrayal, that it focuses too hard on trying to make a point about society that's irrelevant or inaccurate. You know, lots of stuff like that came out.
Yeah.
It's just that it got, like, a pinpoint sort of focus for being awful. If I remember, because at the time we had to do a bit of like, you know, hang on, it's actually kind of good. But it seems like these days a lot of people are willing to just accept, oh no, that one was good. It's like, oh okay, but this one isn't. Now this one very much could be terrible. I don't know, but it's weird, right? Because like if all those reviews were really good, if you just read them all out and they just said generic blurbs about being good, I would probably be the reverse right now. I'd be like, I don't know, maybe it's bad, like because I can't fucking trust these people. It always feels like it's useless information.
Yeah. No, I'm generally inclined to agree, and like my my rule of thumb with this sort of thing is like if the mainstream media dislike it, then it's probably on the right track for being quite good. But I do think it's interesting some of the criticisms that they bring up, and particularly because I think we all had some reservations about the concept behind it. Like I don't know, some of the criticisms seem to be that it doesn't really fully commit to the idea of being a musical, and it's actually like fairly pedestrian in a lot of senses. And it only breaks into those musical numbers on rare occasions. Again, could be totally wrong, and these criticisms might be unfounded, but I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting one to chew over, I suppose. I think these professional reviewers as well, they'll very much be aware of the reception that the first movie got and how wildly like positive most of the reception was for it and how successful it was. And I don't know if that perhaps would normally factor into their perception of the sequel. You know, they'd almost expect it to be good, and so they know what people are expecting from it, and it's not. I don't know.
I don't trust critics at all. So, and we've seen so many examples of disparities between audience and critics. So I think this is a mulligan, actually, who can say, but the movie it's based on, I believe, just because
I love this job.
Grannon can attend the day before, but Danik can't.
Because I've known Todd Phillips from the indie film world back in the 90s. Film Threat even
Hey,
distributed
Ron Ray here, and I really love tanky belts. And this League Gladiator showcased a lot of tankiness on a budget with more than skill of tendency passive, which provides almost 90% block chance. Combined with some mods on your shield, it would make you almost invulnerable. But what if you will use the same tech for Slayer? And combine it with one of the best clearance skills in the whole game that can wipe enemies with a screen-wide AoE, Frostblades of Catabasis. Well, we will get a total beast of a build to farm any tier 17 map without any issue. Just check it out. The build can literally AFK in tier 17 100% delirium map with 2 Scarabs of Risk and 7 more rare monsters. It can also run all possible modifiers with as many Scarabs of Risk as you like. It just can't be brick, even if some mods still can annoy you a little. It's also uber viable, especially excelling on bosses like Uber Elder with an amazing AoE reach. But the strongest part of the build is always will be amazing tier 17 mapping potential. And I filmed all of that without +1 frenzy mirror rings. The build has a great scaling potential too on higher budget if you would decide to go for such rings. So in this video I will explain everything that you will need to know about the build and how you can build it yourself. I will also cover different budget versions, from like very cheap one to mirror tier 1, so you will be able to pick one that works exactly for you. Let's go. So how the build works. First off, we are stacking a lot of block chance. We can reach about 65% of basic block, and if we are going to use a Forbidden Flash and Forbidden Flame, we can get a lucky block as well. It will lead us to 88% of block chance, which is completely amazing. All of that together with a modifier on your shell. You can recover life every time that you are blocked, and you can recover about like 5% of life when you block. It's going to make us almost unkillable in maps when a lot of enemies are hitting us with small hits. Moving forward, we're also using Masterful Form, and we're stacking as many frenzy charges as possible. But we're going to receive endurance charges as well. And those endurance charges are going to boost our defenses pretty much significantly. And since we are using Relacash boots, we always will have maximum amount of endurance charges and frenzy charges, making our survivability pretty stable in almost all situations. As an offense, we are going to use Frostblades of Catabasis mostly for amazing AoE, and we're also going to use a Heat Shiver, because Heat Shiver is going to open a lot of additional damage possibilities for us, and is going to provide us with some additional damage based on chill effect and if enemy is frozen, which is very nice and stacks with our huge amount of cold damage. We can also use Yoke of Suffering, and that will pretty much boost our elemental damage, since we already have a lot of possible elements. And as the last part, we can also stack a lot of instant Leech Mastery, such as Claw Mastery for example, or Leech Mastery. Both of those masters are going to provide huge amount of instant leech, up to 2000 instant leech, which is half of our life. So if we are hitting, we can pretty much ignore everything, including damage over time. So let's dive into specifics. First question is pretty much what you must have on the shell. So to feel all of that beautiful survivability, you need to roll a modifier on your shell that will give you recover 3 to 5% of life when you block. It's very important because that's how you're going to regenerate your life, while a lot of monsters are attacking you at the same time. Another very important modifier on this shield is chance to avoid elemental elements. So I would recommend to just roll 2 modifiers like that. If you can get other cool bonuses such as life, additional physical damage reduction, chance to block spell damage, or increased chance to block, that would be nice. However, recovery of life when you block is absolutely necessary for you to feel survivability, and 30% chance to avoid elemental elements is very important as well. So how we are getting a lot of physical max hit? We're pretty much using Strength of Blood, unique keystone. As you can see it here, and it can give us about 37% of physical max hit, which is absolutely amazing. It goes like 2% additional physical damage reduction for every 3% life recovery per second from Leech. We already have a lot of instant Leech, and we're losing only 900 life Leech but we are receiving crazy amount of physical max hit with it. So I recommend to use Strength of Blood in almost all cases. And you can get it here through Little Pride. Just get Little Pride with warriors under Kaom with a proper number, for example 13, 993 is working just fine, and allocate 1 point to get Strength of Blood into your build. And it's pretty important because it's going to boost your survivability against physical damage significantly. So another very important question is pretty much how we can get enough block to be capped. As you can see with Lucky, we can get 88 and 88 spell block as well. So currently, to get your block, you will need to use a few tattoos here. For example, for +1 chance to block attack damage. And you can also take deflection, so just pop here, 3 points. And I'm also taking weapon artistry because it's providing some damage. If you don't want or just can't use status, you can pretty much drop weapon artistry like that and take a passive here for block mastery because it's going to cap you for spell block chance. However, if you're looking for optimized option, going for weapon artistry is probably the best right here. And using tattoos is a very great idea too, especially if you want to save a few points here and there. And to pretty much reach 88%, you will need to use jewels such as Forbidden Flash and Forbidden Flame to allocate more than skill. Those could be a little expensive, so if you don't have access to them, you can pretty much just drop it and play with 65% of block. It's still going to feel very tanky. However, if you have enough funds, more than skill could be a very great option here, because it's going to give you almost 90% of block chance, which is absolutely amazing for your survivability. Another important part to our survivability is pretty much reaching the Fortify. And to get Fortify, I'm using Celestial Brace Goliath gauntlets. Those gauntlets can give you melee hits from skills Fortify, which is very cool, and it can give us 9 or even 10 maximum fortification. You can also receive attack speed per fortification bonus, so some damage is going to be applied as well. So those gloves are pretty cool. You can even roll maximum frenzy charge as a corruption here if you have the funds, but just using them can grant us fortification in almost all the cases. And it's going to be more fortification stacks than usual in almost all other builds. The build also has 100% of all elemental elements immunity, so no shock, no sap, no chill, no ignite, and to reach it, we'll need to have a few different things in our build. So first off is Ancestral Vision. It can give us about 50% of chance to avoid elemental elements since our spell suppression is already capped. After that, we'll need to get about 30% of chance to avoid elemental elements on our shield or on our body armor. So both those options are pretty much very good. I genuinely recommend to roll it on shield instead because body armor is more expensive and harder to roll overall. Pretty much 30% here, and we can also receive additional chance to avoid elemental elements from thick skin, so 4% from small nodes and 8% from big one. And that's pretty much 20% here, 30 from the shield and 50 from Ancestral Vision, which leads us to a 100% immunity to all elemental elements. Since we don't have a Tribal Fury for AoE in our tree, I genuinely recommend to take it on your claw. You can roll melee strike skill deals splash damage to surrounding targets, which is a very great idea. That way we can anoint something else on our amulet, for example like Disemboweling, and all of those bonuses can work together a little better. However, if you don't have the funds for melee strike skill deal splash damage because it requires power wounds, you can pretty much just roll Tribal Fury on your amulet. It will just require 1 golden oil and that's pretty much it, so that's a cheaper version if you don't have the funds. However, if you will have more currency later on, I recommend to roll the claw instead and anoint something else on the amulet. But overall, Tribal Fury is a very important part because it's going to boost our clear significantly. Just make sure that you always have Tribal Fury or buff on your claw. So another important question is why we are using poison and bleed in our build. So generally we are using bleed for at least cornered prey and a cool bonus such increased critical strike chance against bleeding enemies. And we're also getting 1 point for poison here. So the main reason why we're even doing it is Yoke of Suffering. Yoke of Suffering is give us 10% increased damage for each type of ailment you have inflicted on your enemies. So generally both poison and bleeding.
To be fair, Steel was gonna do some research and see if Core Keeper was fun multiplayer, and if it is, then he wants to do that at some point. So, but we have Last Epoch, then we have the Gauntlet, then we have Diablo 4, then I might go on holiday with Steel. Just the announcement. Are you done with Ruthless? Yes, sir. Didn't enjoy it after the reroll. Like, I think I would have enjoyed it as long as I didn't go for Marrero. Oh, is there SX launching 10 days after PoE2? Yeah. What's the DPS of this character? I don't know. Somewhere between 20 and 50 million. Probably closer to 50. Poor guy. Just fucking end it. I don't really have anything to sell right now. Well, a lot of currency. Mirror shop for Frenzy Boys. Oh, well. Well. Maybe I can sell the Omen of Fortune.
Chaz just resubscribed for 65 months. D.
So if it's hardcore and my character dies in the gauntlet, where will it go? Standard. Why is it so expensive? Oh, Rally Cash is 40, that's why. This is standard. Let's see. Why would it go to hardcore standard when you die? You don't stay in hardcore when you die in hardcore. Trade one. Do I have any special beasts? Oh wait, I have the Morrigan. Except for the gauntlet, first round I'm going to be playing what feels like years. I'm very excited for this gauntlet. How you doing, dude?
Farewell.
I hope you like it. Is shipping allowed in the gauntlet? Nothing is banned. I remember this one was so insane for the build I was gonna do and I never ended up using it. It's so sad. Me and Steel are casting. Yes, sir. You baited Darth into the Oni grind? Did he really start doing it? Why, bro? That's so fucked. He did a 14-hour streams.
Just need a moment to catch my
Did he get one at least? Did he like at least get one? No? Wait, in 14 hours? That's crazy. His sounds are level 7 now? Oh, so it's just a matter of time.
Not the most pleasant of arenas, but it would have to do.
At least there's that, bro. That's crazy. Was he enjoying himself at least? Oh my gosh, he does not exist in Mirthas. Can the boss ever drop 3 fragments? With enough quad? That's nice. Dude, Frank, is my character strong enough? 600 guarantees 3. Oh, wow. That's so harsh for hardcore. How do you guys think tier 17s are going to be in the gauntlet? Completely fucked? So I have already said that tier 17s have 0 mods in the gauntlet. They are completely plain. Nothing different, I think. They are completely plain Jane. What do you mean I think? I'm unsure if the bosses are different. So kind of an oasis. I mean, they're still tier 17s. I wouldn't call them an oasis.
Greeting.
That face? I mean, they're still tier 17s.
Stay sharp out there.
Like, I wouldn't call them easy. This is going to be an easy mode gauntlet. Ben wins on day 1. How confident are you in that statement? Is that something you want to put money behind? Like, how confident are you? When does the league end? Don't know. We don't know. 50%? You know, nobody, even easy gauntlets haven't been won on day 1, right? The easiest gauntlet was won on day 3. And this is the hardest gauntlet we've ever done. How do I know if builds I find online are not bait builds and are actually good? It's a tough one. Like, generally, it depends what you're looking for, like what type of build too. Like for league start builds and stuff, then like me and Max Troll are the best places to go. Endgame builds are a little bit harder. Generally, like see what creators are playing and stuff. But then you end up going like 100 to 400 divine. Any special mods that aren't in the main game? Every gauntlet is the hardest one yet? No, that's not true. That's not true at all. We did several gauntlets that were really easy. I'll watch when he's doing bosses, yeah. He's just doing Elder right now, which isn't very boss. I'm very excited for this gauntlet. I'm obviously excited for every gauntlet, but well, you'll see soon why I'm very excited for this one in particular. Oh, nice adventurous. Try to die less than I do.
Couldn't ask for a better training ground than Raycross.
Are there any plans on nerfing Ben? Does the Olympics do anything special for Michael Phelps? They banned his suit? Yeah, I think Cardinals one duelist. I played close beta PoE around 100 hours, and I can't say anything more than that. But guys, I fucking cannot wait for this game. That's good. That's really good to hear. How good are you at PoE 1? Would you say you're good or bad at PoE 1? I'm just wondering like how approachable the game is. I've made around 10 mirrors this league. Ah, fuck. Okay, that's not a good sign. No, I mean, maybe it is a good sign. Maybe it is a good sign. Do you like blasting in PoE 1? Yes? Okay, cool. Thank you. That actually makes me excited. Hi, Havok. How you doing? You excited?
Hello.
What's that? Some sort of amulet dropped. Yoke of the Suffering. 2 divines.
Alright, let's just send it. Level 2 shot. Yeah.
While we live, we are blessed.
I do have block, yeah. But if I haven't blocked recently, I only have 60 something block. Nah, this is not Ububa. But that wasn't our goal. The damage feels good, to be honest. Even without cruelty, it feels good. Yeah, what's scary, we have to do this twice. So if this first one is any way sketchy at all, it could be a huge problem. Have you thought about replacing Ascendancy passes for Quinn Node? I have, but the aggravate is too important. I think I can just tank this actually.
Buffed audio.
mean, my damage is really good. I'm liking my damage a lot. Like, out of everything so far, I have to say my damage feels better than I thought it would.
Oh, does he have the Quinn node? The audio does sound weird,
Recklessness will not go unpunished.
doesn't it?
Practice makes perfect.
Those endurance charges are huge too. Big fan of the endurance charges.
You have FFC installed.
Here we go, boys. I believe in you. Hey, Ziz.
You force my hand again, little mouse. So, you've chosen to side with chaos. This,
Hey, do not decoy.
and you shall obey my order.
Oh, I wish I had more movement speed. Oh no.
It's summoner damage. It's not that the same. I don't reload the stream to turn it off. Is that better? It sounds better,
I have
doesn't
to
it?
Quicksilver every slam. I just have to get used to using Quicksilver to dodge abilities.
Just have to turn it up. What's up, Max? It's weird because I don't have this issue on Firefox.
Oh, come on!
Ambivalence.
I guess we don't face tank him. I mean, that's bullshit, but whatever. Honestly, he's not supposed to do that. That's fucking bullshit. That was one ball. But I can tank one ball. I made my character to tank one ball. Like, even a max hit crit can't kill me. And then I have Molten Shell and my Savage Hit Flask will proc. So I've done
Look
this
at that
very
AoE,
meticulously. I
dude.
should be okay. But obviously I don't want that to happen every time. It's gonna be cancer. Any balls? No. Okay, here we go. I have to be ready to...
Look at that tongue chat. Look at that tongue action. What a gamer, dude. If he can't do it, no one can. Steel's our man. Look at that purple ball. Yeah, why isn't he Maven witnessing? Like, is he not gonna do the fear? Like, what kind of bitch ass move is this, chat?
I'm questioning my choice of last for this. The gain charges mod doesn't even proc. Because I'm not tanking. It'll be good for Cyrus and Elder, Uber Elder, but it's not very good for Shaper.
Your brother's gonna be so hard.
It's okay.
How long would it take Sana to kill Shaper by herself? Well, he has energy shield, so I don't think she can do it. Why did you drop from Mirthus? I died on my gladiator, and then I didn't enjoy the new character I made, and I didn't want to start over.
Hang on, I need to get... Wait, I'm trolling.
It's also like, it didn't seem like people on my channel were as interested in watching Mirthus. So I definitely like try to keep that in mind when choosing what content to do. Like if a lot of people aren't tuning in, I'll switch and try to do something more interesting. Like if people really enjoyed Rufus and it was something people watched a lot more, I would have kept doing it. But a lot of people said that they weren't really interested in watching Rufus, so I pivoted and did something else instead. And I try to focus on what my viewers want to see.
Okay.
Wearing pants and no hot
A
tub.
little bit further out.
Gladiator SSC is fun.
Whoa!
That was very close to dying. Very, very close. Now my legs are still so